We are back in Mexico, but this time we are trading the beaches of Tulum for the food and history of Mexico City, and we learned some pretty interesting stuff.
The cathedral is sinking.
We also found the best taco shop for a breakfast.
It's delicious.
A must-see cafe, and tried our hand at Spanish again.
Buenos dias! That's all I got.
Today we decide if we love Mexico City.
These are so cool. Wow.
Or if this will be our last visit.
There's always vendors trying to sell you stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have any spots available for the tour today.
Are you ready?
I need more time. Cold?
A little bit.
I told you.
That is my first impression, is that it is very cold. It's like 50 degrees. It'll get to 70 eventually, but I'm dressed more for like the Tulum and Playa del Carmen weather we experienced a couple years ago. And Alicia, the smarter of the two of us, is actually dressed for 50 degrees.
Buenos dias. We are starting our day down this beautiful pedestrian walk down to El Zocalo, which is the main plaza here, the Centro Histórico, if you will. Brushing up on all my Spanish, it's been kind of fun, not gonna lie. But this pedestrian walk is Avenida Francisco, I believe, and it is gorgeous. There's like all this old architecture that's like from the 17 or 1800s. This kind of reminds me of Antigua in Guatemala, but they had like all the new stores and fast food places in the old buildings. There's a Burger King right here and a H&M across the street.
And there's, without fail, always a Starbucks. So Coke is enormous in Mexico. In fact, I think if you even uttered the word Pepsi, you could actually offend someone here. This is my kind of store. I love Coke, mostly Coke Zero, but the best way to drink any soda is in a glass bottle. So we're gonna pick one up and share it on the way to our next stop.
I look like I'm in an ad.
You totally do.
It's so sweet. We never drink regular soda anymore. It is just sugar in a cup.
Well, the street vendors are starting to set up in the area here, and already we smell tacos. And it wasn't in the plans, but when you see tacos, you just get tacos because you're in Mexico.
I have no idea what to get. Can we just get dos tacos? Sí.
Adelante.
Gracias. Gracias.
Gracias.
When he first said how much it was, I thought he said 60 pesos, but he said 16. So 16 pesos for 2 tacos. Literally no idea what they are. He gave us one of each though, because he was nice, and I was like, I don't know. I didn't even say no say. I was just like, I don't know.
You look like such a deer in headlights.
I really felt like it. I just felt bad. This place gets really busy. It has like 17,000 reviews on Google. And I haven't had breakfast really yet, so why not tacos? This is the taco capital of the world. These look bomb. Okay, so it's like 2 street taco tortillas right next to each other to make a bigger taco with meat, and it looks like it's like dipped in some sort of delicious looking sauce. That is a good corn tortilla. You just can't find good tortillas outside of Mexico and like the southern US. This is just delicious. I have no idea what kind of meat it is though.
Is it pretty tender?
Mm-hmm. It's like ground up meat with like onions and stuff in it. It was like shredded. So it's not just like a piece of meat. It's delicious.
When people ask us why we decided to come to Mexico City, the answer was pretty easy. It's the food. We've heard nothing but good things about food. This is the big draw for us.
We probably will be coming back here.
Definitely. Coke and tacos, I'm very, very happy right now.
That has got to be the biggest flag I've ever seen in my life. Oh my God, that's like 10 feet tall.
It is huge. This is the main square in Mexico City called El Zocalo, and it is the largest plaza in Latin America and probably the only place in the world where a flag this size could live and actually make sense. But aside from that, there's like not much in here. Just a big square, ton of space for people to walk.
The great thing about this plaza, besides just the beautiful buildings and the fact that there's so much open space, is that everything that you want to see in the historic center is right here. This is the National Palace, this is the giant flag, this is the cathedral, and just behind the cathedral is the Templo Mayor Museum.
is 11:51. We wanted to get here before noon because this beautiful cathedral here behind me has not one but two bell towers holding 18 different bells that are going to ring 12 different times. We have learned the lesson the hard way that we should be here at noon and not 1 p.m.
Oh, there we go. So is that it, guys?
What the heck?
It's because it's 1.
Because then they only ring once.
Currently 12:10 and no bells. So the bells you're hearing, not real bells. Hola! Hola! Muy lindo. Adios. Bye. Bye. The Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico City is considered to be one of the largest cathedrals in North America. We're able to take a look inside since it is free entry for anybody. Now, I don't know if you can tell just by looking at it through the camera, but the cathedral is sinking. So is a lot of the buildings around here in Mexico City because Mexico City was built on a former lake bed. So this building in particular is sinking at about 15 to 20 inches every single year. They're doing a lot of maintenance and trying to make sure it doesn't continue sinking into the earth, but I think nature wants this to be a lake. Mexico City is also known as CDMX, which is short for Ciudad de Mexico. We've been in quite a few touristy parts of town all over the world, and there's always vendors trying to sell you stuff. Luckily here, they're not that pushy, and honestly, really nice.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, that is insane. I've never seen a stained glass window or like canopy like that. We're at the Grand Hotel right off the Central Plaza, and this is their lobby area, which is gorgeous enough as is, but the canopy was made by Tiffany & Co. You can tell. Wow.
It is 1 o'clock now, so lunchtime, which I feel like is every hour in Mexico City because the food's so wonderful here. But we are literally just across the street from the taco spot we went to earlier, which is now jam-packed with people, which is no surprise. But we wanted a torta, and we were at a restaurant called Mumeri.
Cheers! How do you say? Salud!
Salud.
We got Victoria because it's hecho in Mexico, made in Mexico, but they have tons of Corona and Victoria and other local like craft brews, but nice light beer is perfect for lunchtime. Okay, the torta came. There's chips on it. It said chilaquiles, but I didn't think that there would actually be chips on it. But it's breaded chicken with chips, onions, beans, and crema fresca and cheese.
Ooh, that's good.
And then chips. They look like homemade chips too. Oh, hot. It's honestly really good. Beans and chilaquiles on the bread with the chicken. It is a warm, hearty Mexican sandwich.
So the torta was good and the service at the restaurant was great. But for me, when we're trying Mexican food, I much prefer the hole-in-the-wall places like the taco shop or street food. It just seems like there, it's all about the flavors and a little bit less about the presentation. But for whatever reason in this area, really hard to find a torta shop.
So next stop, the Palace.
We're trying to find the entrance to the palace and we're on the back side, and it's just like 10 times crazier than it is on the front side.
So our next stop was supposed to be the National Palace, which has been home to Aztec rulers, colonial rulers, and is now part museum, part parliament. It's absolutely massive, and we had the great fortune of walking around the entire thing trying to find the entrance. Unfortunately, they don't have any spots available for the tour today, so we were able to book the next available one. There was only 2 spots left, and it's on the day we leave Mexico. So we're gonna be coming back. It's a 1-hour guided tour, totally free, and it's in English, and we get to see some really awesome stuff.
We did end up going to the palace tour on our last day in Mexico. What we learned in going to that tour is that we didn't technically have to wait until that time. They have what's called a standby line, and most people that went to the standby in our group were let in because people did not show for their reservations. So that's an option. As for the tour itself, it was awesome. I would consider it less of a palace tour and more of a tour of the mural that Diego Rivera painted, the famous artist and husband of Frida Kahlo. And in the tour, we learned the history of Mexico City and Mexico as it was painted throughout the entire mural. And there were so many cool little Easter eggs and personal touches that Diego put in there that were explained by the tour guide, without which we would have never known the difference from that and the rest of the mural. All in, it was definitely worth the wait.
Gracias.
Muchas gracias. Gracias.
It was like a Russian doll. Like when the kingdom got bigger, it would just make a bigger pyramid on top of the old pyramid. So this is like indoor-outdoor museum. So we're gonna go explore the actual ruins out here. It's not like Angkor Wat where you can like walk on the ruins. It's kind of like how in Chichen Itza they had you not climb the pyramid and then you walk around it on like separate boards. Mexico City was originally founded in the 1300s, around 1325, they believe, by the original Mexica people. The town at the time was called Tenochtitlan, and it was built on an island in the middle of Lago de Texico, which no longer exists. Gosh, this land has like such crazy history. So this was the grand temple in like the center of their universe that they believed crossed the horizontal and the vertical planes with like heaven and hell. And this was how they could like contact the gods. And then in 1521, the Spanish destroyed the temple almost completely, and 2 Spanish brothers built their homes on top of it. In 1566, their homes were destroyed and covered in salt. This became a garbage dump, and then it was a bookstore in the early 1900s. Underneath the bookstore was all this crazy history from like the 1300s. Isn't that crazy? Oh my gosh. So as you walk through the ruins, you can actually see the kind of Russian nesting dolls approach that they had. Right here is phase 4, and just behind it is 3, and they had up to 7, and the top ones are the ones that were destroyed by the Spanish. So the 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and I believe the 1st are all still kind of intact. It's so cool, you just see them like as you go. Like here's the stairs for the 4th one, and it's so much bigger. And then here's the 3rd one. Maybe that's like the original one. That's super cool. So this is part of phase 2, and this is just like the temples at the top. The rest of it is in the city's subsoil, so they can't even get to it. It's so deep underground. So this part is shaded because there's still original like colored paint on some of the designs, so they don't want the sun to wear it away. And it's really cool. You can see the red and the yellow, some black, and even white. I think the yellow and the red is the coolest. This is the most well-preserved area of the whole like ruins. Okay, do you see that? It's one of the smaller buildings outside, and it has human skulls, but they're made out of stone. They look really cool. I bet they were painted or sculpted on like really elaborately at one time too. These are so cool. I don't know, they're so cool though. That's what it used to look like out there instead of what it looks like. The museum was absolutely awesome. We could have spent all day in there. It was kind of set up like IKEA, so you just like have to go one direction and then you get to see the entire museum. But all the sections they had were really awesome, and they had crazy stuff in there that I never would have expected, but definitely recommend it. It was one of the better museums that I've been to.
cafe is called Finca Don Porfinio, and it has a view that is just incredible. It's overlooking the Palacio de Bellas Artes, which is the art museum, and it's already a beautiful building, but seeing it from this high up is awesome.
So all the seating is basically first come, first serve, and the name of the game is basically wait it out until someone leaves, and then you can sit there.
Okay, we decided to get some hot chocolate. They're really well known for it, and they have some specialty drinks here. So we both actually wanted the same thing. We spend literally every second together, so I'm not surprised at all. I decided to get something different. I got the cocoa, white cocoa, cinnamon, sugar, and corn. It says maize. It smells delightful. It smells like spicy, cinnamony chocolate. It's like spiced chocolate somehow. And it's not super rich or super sweet. It's really good.
Mine's much darker. It looks like a dark chocolate, but does have almond, brown sugar, and cinnamon. It's good. It's very mild though. Just a little hint of cinnamon, tasty almond, almost like almond butter. Very good for this like chilly day in Mexico City.
Hotel is located really close to the Centro Historico zone, so we were able to just walk everywhere we went today. As we were walking home right now, it's evening time, and it is so much busier than earlier today. There's like a ton of street performers, so many people walking, little food stands. The only thing that was here earlier is the shoe polishing. They're still here.
This is the main square in Mexico City.
She didn't say anything. You're right, Alicia. This view is pretty damn incredible.
No, I think we're over there.
Okay.